Hey everybody, this is my Williams Whitewater. It's been partially reconditioned by TNT Amusements. I'll show you what I got here. So I picked up this game in July. As you can see in here, I've got completely original boards in here. You can take a look at the pictures. This was reconditioned by TNT Amusements, at least the boards were. There's all reflowed silver solder connectors per Todd Tucky up there. They did the battery offset over here, so there's a little lithium ion battery here that's not going to leak onto the boards. And you just replace that every couple of years. They're like $1, $2 on Amazon, something like that. All of these have got reconditioned by TNT Amusements with inspection lights and whatnot with June 2019 stickers. Now, next item I want to show you is this wonderful color DMD. This is a LCD DMD. And if you play the game, it's got colored animations and whatnot within it, as you can see here, instead of the original red and white, which is fantastic. So moving back up, since I purchased this machine, when I got this, they had only reconditioned the boards. Since I've had it, I have added LED lights for the general illumination. I kept the original flasher bulbs just because I didn't want to have a seizure. The new ones are really bright. There is a brand new flasher dome. Now this is the original topper on here. However, this dome itself, this piece of plastic, was heavily cracked. This is a brand new unit. They're about $120. The actual Whitewater effect there, as you can see, you got these flashing bulbs. These are all new bulbs. These are 12-volt bulbs instead of 6-volt bulbs, but whatever. When you look inside, you see that nice, I think it's called lithotropic, something like that effect, where it looks like the waterfall is going. This is an original, the part that's inside there. You cannot get a new one of these. People have been trying to remake them for a while, but apparently manufacturing on that is darn near impossible. Now, since I got everything here, go ahead and put the, what do you call it? Let me go ahead and put the translite back in. This is original translite here. Whoops. In good shape. If you wanted to, you could replace the little piece of plastic on top. They're like $4 or $5 online if you're picky about it. Just let that in there. Lock it. Got the little floaty for your Whitewater keys. So continuing the tour of this particular machine, when I got this, there was quite a bit of little scratches and things on the side. I've done a lot of touch-up paint, which if you get close and you look at it at an angle, you can see that there's some touch-ups. Particularly around here on the flipper buttons. I did do some touch-ups and some repainting on the back box on both sides. Which, if you get right in the light, you can see, but if you're playing, you shouldn't notice. The only place that there's anything that's more than noticeable to me is up here in the front. There was a little chunk taken out of the corner. Part of this is covered up by the lockdown bar, but it was just bare wood when I got it, and I've color matched it as best I could. You can see we've got a foreign DM Deutsche Mark, so this is a re-import from Germany, but you could put little coin receptors in there and use this as a commercial unit. Shouldn't be any issues with that at all. I've got the custom, what do you call them? Instructions. There we go. Whatever you call these cards. Now, within, let's see here, how do I go back to just, there we go. Now, within this game itself, like I said, I've switched these all out to LEDs. I have added a light strip in the back, backboard light strip for the top of the mountains there to brighten it up a little bit. And down here in the trough, I've added another LED light strip, so there's some additional lighting going on down there. Now, when I got this, the what do you want to call them? The ramps were ugly, and the mountains were all cracked. Now, I have since replaced all of the plastics that are on here on the side for the mountains. I think I replaced these targets here as well, and I replaced all of the ramps. Now, a new full set of ramps, if you look online, is something ridiculous like $500. I did not spend $500 on new ramps. I did not spend $200 on new mountains. If you look at the replacement mountains that they make, they don't match the rest of the play field. It's like they don't match the originals. They're a little bit thicker. They don't quite look right. So what I did is I ordered somebody who had taken their machine and just completely renewed everything on it and had a collector's state item, and I took the items that he took off of his machine, which were all really nice. So like these ramps here, as you can see, they're all pretty good. None of them are cracked. The mountains, none of them are cracked. This is actually the best pieces out of 4 or 5 different sets of used mountain sets, because I wanted the originals. If you look back through my post history and my sales, you will see that there's like a dozen or so different sets of plastics and whatnot I was selling off of this to get everything switched out. But it's all done. Additionally, on a lot of these older machines, the Mylar is peeling off, or has got gunk underneath it. I went through the process of going ahead and removing the Mylar around the side slings, up whatever you want to call the boulder garden, and up here on top. I would not recommend doing that because it took forever, but it's been done, and the result is you've got nice clean play field underneath. Just keep waxing it and it'll be fine. But as you can see, we have a really nice machine. That I think the LEDs in here work nice. These are all Comet 2 SMD LEDs, and I really like the way this turned out. It plays great. I'll play just a little bit here for you so you can see some action. I have no credit dots on this. Everything works. I've gone through and adjusted all the switches. I put new rubbers in here. These aren't the silicone rubbers. I'm not a huge fan, but I have replaced these in the past few months. And negatives. I always like full disclosure on these. So when the ball pops out of here, or the lost mine, the ball always hits the same spot right about there. So as you can see, there's it's not quite 100% smooth here, but it's one of those things that you need to point out. Additionally, as you can see, the ball comes around and drops in down here, and underneath this plastic there is a scratch in the play field, a couple little scratches right there. There's a little down in the trough where you can't see standing straight up. It looks like somebody did a weld with the playfield steel on, so there's a little spot here. There's no cracks on any of these plastics, I think. Let's see here. A ball drop comes in on this side. It's definitely been played. Same over here. And because everybody loves the shooter lane, you can see that the game has been played in the shooter lane. All right. So let's play a little bit. And then we'll let it be. It's really hard to play pinball with one hand. Let's try. So you got a skill shot. You can try and do a soft plunge and get it to roll back here. And you're going to want to try and hit it up the top. Let's see. See, look at that color. Cool. Now, the game is not nearly this loud. The only reason you hear all these loud clicks is because I have the glass off. Speaking of which, when I pulled these off, I picked this up from TNT Amusements. It came with a new sheet of glass, so the glass that's over here with it is brand new as of 6 months ago. There's no scratches on it or anything like that. Try for another soft plunge. Whoa, let's see. See, this little guy acts as a diverter. It's really cool. There we go. So if you've never played Whitewater before, this is a fantastic game. This isn't like a mode-based game where there's a ton of different modes to do. It's more of a skill-based game to me. There's 4 main objectives when you play the game. You have to advance. You're gonna, like any other pinball game, you're gonna want to shoot the lit targets that are up here. So you've got these different raft inserts here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and finally you get the wet willies. So the idea is when the first ramp is lit, you want to hit the first yellow marker, then when the second one, after you hit that, it'll go to 4 here, and then there'll be a couple of different targets that you have to hit. And it's a different set of random targets every time, and as you go up, you have to hit more targets to close it. Eventually you'll get to wet willies after you complete all those rafts. Wet willies is fantastic. You get, like 20 million points a shot, I think, something like that. And then afterwards, there's a roving 100 million point jackpot. You got to get river class up to river class 6, which you do by hitting these targets here. You want to complete river, and as you are playing, if you hit the right or the left flipper, you see these little river when lit, spot river letter when lit, spot river letter when lit. You can spot river letters that way as well. And then you have this little guide here that shows you the hazard value. So you're going to want to complete those, get that to river class 6. There are the modes in this game, are these different little lit items here. So as you're playing, you've got these 2 signs up here. The yellow route lights the whirlpool, and the red one lights the whirlpool. The ball will come down here, spin around in this cool little whirlpool, and then start the mode. So for a whirlpool challenge, you just it's a 2-ball multi-ball, and you try and hit the ball on the right, and it continuously ups the jackpot. You've got an extra ball, advanced ramp, mystery canyon, 5 times playfield. Rescue the guy that fell off the raft, man overboard. You got this cool little Bigfoot here who will turn his face around from time to time. He's got a little diverter here that he'll push open, which is a really neat effect. You got a mini mode where this diverter won't come on and the ball will come down here to Bigfoot's cave for the Bigfoot jackpot. So 1, 2, 3. What's the last one? There's one more set of objectives you're supposed to do. Multi-ball. Light the multi-ball, light the multi-ball, lock the ball, light, lock, light, start the multi-ball. And then when you do multi-ball, you're supposed to hit the jackpot up here. It's a 3-ball multi-ball, and it's this deceivingly difficult shot to make it up and down through here. I did rebuild the flippers on the upper flipper up here to give it some more strength. So it's, yeah, here we go. So those objectives that I was talking about up here, getting the multi-ball, making it to Wet Willies, making it to River Class 6, and completing all the different modes. Once you do that, it'll start a vacation multi-ball, which is wizard mode, which I won't get into too much because I don't want to spoil it, but there is another thing there. But once again, one last quick overview of this machine. Oh, and I think I've even got, yeah, I've even got the, don't want to put my address out on the internet, but let's see if we can look at the rest of this. I've got the original receipt from original receipt from TNT Amusements, but there you go.